What is happening? I am back, D. Crenny, here with another album review. This is for Michael Kiwanuka's third studio album, Kiwanuka. Michael Kiwanuka is an English singer, songwriter, and record producer from London. I was introduced to him luckily through local radio station KCRW, where they play some of his music. Immediately, I had an ear for his sound. It's a really good sound. Overall, I haven't heard any of his other projects. He does have Home Again, which was his debut album, which came out in 2012, and Love and Hate, which came out in 2016. He has been nominated and he's won a good amount of awards. I believe his genre is an indie folk rock of some sort, but this doesn't sound like that. I think that's like his classified genre, but this album Kiwanuka is like it's a soul album to me. It has 90s sound, 80s sound, and maybe if you listen to enough 70s and 60s, I'm sure you can poke out something from those times as well. The producers on here are Danger Mouth and Inflow. They do a phenomenal job. I don't know how the production coincides with the instruments, but the instruments on here, from the piano to the guitar to the drums and whatever else they use on here, is phenomenal. And honestly, like the first couple of listens, I didn't even honestly hear the words. I mean, I heard some of the words and I was like, okay, what is he saying? But most of his lyrics are so short and cut and dry that it's like, okay, back to the sound, and I just vibed through this all the way through until finally I knew I was reviewing this. I gotta force myself to listen to the lyrics, and the lyrics I didn't catch, I got and looked up and found them out, but I knew the gist of the songs for the most part as far as the lyrics go. There is a race is a undertone on this album. There are moments when he speaks about blacks and gun violence. There's a religious aspect to it. There's also some relationship or love concepts. I'm not sure exactly how to detail that, but he speaks about, people being with him or being with you, or just that general concept of togetherness with people, obviously. His lyrics are, like I said, they're very vague. He doesn't break things down. He kind of leaves you to fill in the blanks. Before we get into the review, once again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please like the video. And yeah, we got an English singer-songwriter producer, Michael Kiwanuka, third studio album, Kiwanuka, track by track. Number 1 is You Ain't the Problem. Well, this is the song that introduced me to Michael Kiwanuka. Listening on a radio, I'm jamming to this, and I probably heard it maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and every time it comes on, I jam to it. I never Shazammed it or anything like that. They would always say his name, and I would just be ready to listen every time they said, "Oh, come up in the next set," But it's a funky sound, so it's a funky, good sound. The instruments are dope. That's what attracted me to this record at first. Overall, it's a really good song. He's kind of emphasizing the fact that you ain't the problem. How you kind of look at yourself in certain situations. I think that's what he's saying. It's like, you ain't the problem. And then the song jams though. So number 2 is Rollin'. This has a traditional 90s funk soul vibe to it. Once again, it could be another era, but I find it 90s like. It might be 80s, but the drums really hit you on the song. The lyrics in the first verse are very on point, very true. Bringing in a chorus about the lyrics, basically saying what he says in the lyrics, it's not changing. It's basically just rolling on with the times. It's just continuing with the times. Number 3 is I've Been Dazed. This is a smooth transition from Rolling. I think if you just listen to the song, or if you listen to the album in its entirety and didn't look at the track list, you could probably miss the transition between Rolling to I've Been Dazed, because I missed it, especially on the first listen. The tempo does slow down and it does have a much more calming vibe. The vocals on the bridge is like mid song. They're super dope. Super dope. It's like, it sounds like a choir of some sorts in the background, and it's off the chain. Number 4 is Piano Joint, This Kind of Love intro. So this is a intro to the next song. And I think this is slick to have an intro for a song. It's like a anticipation, a build up. And on this one, he does some harmonizing with some vocals. So then number 5 is Piano Joint, This Kind of Love. And this song really hit me because my granddad used to play the piano, and that bop, 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 that rhythm that you get on the piano, he does that on here. And that immediately got me. It immediately caught me. It gets you kind of like moving to the joint. And then like halfway in, the beat kicks in. The drums and something else picks up. I'm trying to get better at the instruments, but they kick in. Then his vocals go with the song. So it's perfect. I feel like the emotion of his lyrics stick out. And overall, I think his tone on most of the songs, you can tell he's serious. But I think some are just more than others. I think some songs you could feel his passion on them, and this was one of them. Number 6 is Another Human Being. It's an interlude. Number 7 is Living in Denial. I believe that's the horns that starts this thing off. They are incredible. Incredible. I'm pretty sure this is a love song about living in denial. The lyrics are really dope, and they go well with that band, production. They fit together. I am interested to know how that works on here, because it sounds like a live band playing, and then maybe they just kind of engineered it, but it sounds so good. Number 8 is Hero Intro. It's the intro to number 9, which is Hero. Hero is just really good production. It's solid. Danger Mouth and Inflow and Michael, I'm sure they all had their input in here, and it's a good sauce. The lyrics are self-explanatory. You know, is there a correlation between death and becoming a hero, or being a hero and dying? And it's cool to kind of think about, you know, what he's talking about. That's what I get from it. I love the energy on the song. The instruments ride you right through the song. And I'm sure I'm repetitive with that, but that just makes it even more worthy of a listen, in my opinion. Number 10 is Hard to Say Goodbye. It's a 7-minute song. It's the longest song, and I feel like it's just unnecessarily long. Could have cut it short, about 2 minutes. With that being said, it's still a solid song. Good lyrics, good sound, good build up, good transitions in between. It's 7 minutes, so it's kind of like a story of some sorts. But nonetheless, it's good. I just think it's a little bit too long. Number 11 is Final Days, and I believe this is about a person's final days in jail. It has a pleasant sound with not so pleasant lyrics. And of the 14 tracks, you can probably say maybe half of them are like that. Like, you're like, man, I love all the sound. But it's like, man, he talking about some dark stuff, kind of. Not really dark, but just more of a downer type of lyrics in some of the songs. The production is joyful and fun. And I didn't get the lyrics, honestly, until probably my third listen on here, because that's how much I enjoyed the production originally. Didn't even know what this song was about until third, maybe fourth listen, to be quite honest. Number 12 is Interlude, Loving the People. It does have a man talking in here about a situation. I don't know if it's his situation, the song's concept, the album's concept, but it's a situation. It makes sense. Something to listen to. It's an interlude. Number 13 is Solid Ground. I love the vocals on this song. The chorus had me singing Solid Ground for at least a day last week. Like, just that chorus solid. Like, I was singing that a whole day. Production is very light until probably like 1 minute before this. I think it's about 3 minutes in, but right at the end is when the production kicks in. But it's light, and even when it kicks in, it's still pretty light. But it kicks in perfect, right on point. Could have been earlier, but it's not my work. It's his work. I appreciate it. It's nice when it comes in. I take it when I get it. Beggars can't be choosers. It's good. Number 14 is Light. It closes out the album. I'm pretty sure this is a spiritual track, and he may have sprinkled some spiritual lyrics in before, but this one, I'm sure this is all about, spiritual, the light, shining down on me. More solid productions. This is the most detailed lyrically, and that's not saying much, honestly, but this is the most detailed. He speaks vocals, lyrics, sings, whatever you want to call it, more so than any other song on here, which is why I say I'm pretty sure this is a spiritual track. It's good though. Kiwanuka brings you 51 minutes of Michael Kiwanuka's thoughts and sound. If you listen to the project without listening to the lyrics, and I'm not sure why one would want to do that, but one as myself did that for a few listens because I enjoyed the sound so much, is that it's very cool, very relaxing, very just zen, chill. Actually, maybe not zen. It's more, it does have some upbeat stuff. It does make you want to bounce a little bit. So scratch the zen. It does give you some bounce. It's just fun. It's just the sound doesn't match most of his lyrics. But then when you digest those lyrics and you interpret them with the production, now you're like, you got a whole nother monster going on in your brain. It's like you can go through a bunch of different thoughts and feelings about this album. You can go from I like it, I love it, to being impartial, to hating it. And all those aspects of this, having an opinion about this album, it could fluctuate so many different levels. And it's almost like you don't get many albums like that, and that makes this album, worth the listen, in my opinion. If you could have somebody saying this is the best thing I've heard, and you have somebody saying, oh, it's all right, or this is really bad, but knowing you got something here, it's like you got something to listen to. You don't have nothing repetitive. You got good sounds. You got some lyrics. You got somewhat of a concept. It's all in here, so you could just have to take what you want from it and then decide what you think about it. I do think it is a solid project. I'm going to listen to it some more to really digest it. I still just need to take in more of the sound. It's not something I listen to often. I need to hear more of the lyrics. I need to vibe with it a little bit longer. It's solid. It's a good listen. I'm going to always be impartial to anything that provides me with a solid band. Not just any old band, but a solid band. And when the band plays and the band rocks and the band's exciting, you got me listening to your project multiple times. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I will be back with another review quite soon. Like up this video. It's your boy D. Crenny. Until the next one, I holla.